Hello students, I hope you all are safe. I am Renu Verma from Dr. Khubchand Baghel Government College, Bhilai 3. The topic for today's discussion is flight or aerial adaptation in birds. That means how the birds fly and what are the different adaptations which take place in a bird. The table of contents, that is the different topics which we are going to discuss, is first characteristics of birds, their adaptation, the kinds of adaptation that happens, and all those things. We'll see as we proceed. First, we will look at characteristics of birds. These birds are known as masters of the air. They are glorified reptiles which fly high up in the air. The different features which they have is air breathing, warm-blooded, oviparous, bipedal flying vertebrate. Their body is spindle shaped and their body is basically divided into main three parts, that is head, neck and tail. Their body is covered with feathers and they have wings on their forelimbs. Their skull is monocondylic and they have vertebral column short. They have 12 pair cranial nerves, as you can see in the diagram following. The next is adaptation. What does adaptation means? Adaptation means the modification which birds take place in order to survive and reproduce in a particular specific environment. As you can see in the definition, that it is an inherited or acquired modification which the organisms take place in order to suit themselves according to the specific environment. Now there are different kinds of adaptation. First is morphological adaptation. Morphological adaptation, as you can see, is the shape of the body that represents the sum of all its natural adaptations. The perfectly streamlined spindle-shaped body of bird is designed to offer minimum resistance to the wind. So this body shape is made in such a way that it provides minimum resistance to the wind. Second thing is the compact body. The birds have very small and compact body which is very light in shape, and that's why they are able to fly and they are located near the center of gravity. The continuation of morphological adaptation. Now we will talk about feathers. These are the only animals or mammals which feathers, which weigh very little, and these are the parts which allow them to fly high up in the sky. We'll talk about limbs. In birds, the forelimbs have been converted into unique and powerful organs. The wings are mainly used for only one purpose, that is to fly, and hind limb used as a walking leg with the help of which birds are able to walk from their two legs. Now comes morphological adaptation, again continuation. Beak. As we all know that all birds have beak or bills. It is made up of proteins like keratin. These birds do not have true teeth, but with the help of their beak they eat, they feed young and they kill prey. Now we'll talk about mobile neck and head. The neck of these birds is very long and flexible. Since the bird's bill is used for feeding, pressing, nest building, offense and defense, the mobility of neck and free movement of head are very important. Now the last part which we'll discuss about the bird is a tail. Tail is a very short and tail feathers which we can see is at the hind side of the bird, at the back side, that is the rear side, and it can be used for turning and balancing different things. Again we'll talk about bipedal locomotion. Bipedal locomotion is the locomotion, that is the motion or the movement of the bird with the help of their two legs. And the another part which we'll discuss here is perching. Perching is with the help of two legs. They perch on any gripped material. They can grip on the perch, they can grip on the branches of a tree, and that is what perching is known as. And this perching takes place because of the flexible tendons which birds have in their limbs. Now the second type of adaptation is anatomical adaptation. Anatomical adaptation, here we'll talk about flight muscles. Flight muscles, there are about 175 flight muscles in the birds. They mainly control the wings, tail, neck and the legs. The largest muscle in the birds are pectoral or flight muscle, and it is responsible for flight. The endoskeleton. The bones are not only light in weight, as you can see here, this is the bone and it is very hollow from inside. This hollow bone is very light in nature, and this is what makes birds to fly high up in the sky, because they have a very lighter kind of body. We'll talk about the skull and the vertebral column. As you can see here, this is the skull of a bird. It has single occipital condyle. The skull consists of 5 major parts. that is frontal, parietal, premaxilla, nasal and mandible. Next you can see here is the vertebral column of a bird. This is the unicate process of thoracic ribs which is help in producing compactness. The fusion of these bones build with smallest amount of material after the hollow girder. As you can see again the bones have a very hollow part and which are very light in nature. All these this structure that is the skull and the vertebral column help the bird to fly high up in the sky without any type of resistance. Now we'll discuss about third type of adaptation, that is physiological adaptation. As you can see, circulatory system, that is rapid and very high metabolism and warm bloodedness require a large oxygen supply and an efficient circulatory system. Bird's heart is large, 4-chambered and high proportion of hemoglobin present in the form of RBC, that is ribonucleic acid. Now digestive system. The digestive system is extremely efficient in absorbing energy and small amount of food at a rapid rate. So the different systems of a bird, that is circulatory system and digestive system of a bird, are designed in such a way that they are able to circulate blood and digest small amount of food in very small amount of time, and they have a very flexible circulatory and digestive system because of their small body. Now respiratory system. The inelastic lungs of the birds are supplemented by a remarkable system of air sacs. So the lungs of these small birds have air sacs, as you can see in the diagram, small air sacs which help them to communicate with each other. Now we'll talk about the excretory system. Excretory system, they do not have a urinary bladder. Moreover, the water of the excretory fluid is reabsorbed in the urinary tubules of kidney. The result is the formation of a semi-solid excreta which comes out of their urinary bladder. Now we'll talk about the reproductive system. They have single functional ovary which is on the left side of female bird. Now we'll talk about brain and the sense organ. The eyes are large with large optic lobes. As you can see, birds have very large eyes which you must have seen in your day-to-day life. The ability to accommodate rapidly is also well developed for birds, must change quickly from a distant to a near vision in flight. The developed and convoluted cerebellum indicates the delicate senses of equilibrium and the great power of muscular coordination belonging to birds. Birds' flying mechanism. Now we'll discuss about how the birds fly high up in the sky. A bird's wings is curved on the top and flat on the bottom, as you can see in the diagram. They fly high up in the sky by flapping their wings and push more and more air down. As you can see, the different stages how a bird flaps its wings and go high up in the sky. So flight is used by birds as a mean of locomotion. Locomotion is the means of movement in order to find food, to search their prey, for reproduction and for various other factors. Now importance of birds. We'll discuss about what are the importance of birds and why they are important as mammals. Birds have many characteristics that are unique among the vertebrates. They have wings to fly high up in the sky. They are obviously most important members and play vital role in ecosystem. They are integral part of food chain and food web. As we know that many of the animals depend on birds for their food. We need birds for many reasons. In nature, birds eat fruits and carry the seeds, that is known as pollination. They pollinate the seeds from one place to another so that plants grow. Now birds also provide us with meats or eggs. Birds are also essential for insects, mosquitoes, beetles, caterpillar control, etc. In short, birds are very important part of ecosystem and they help in many ways for the sustenance of ecosystem and the environment. Thank you.